Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Mohammed El Zayed from Faculty of Information Technology, and this is Introduction to Unity 3D. Now in the next couple of lessons, actually two or three videos I'm talking about here, we're gonna actually cover how to build a very simple level from scratch. Now of course this level which you're seeing in front of you, not the one which you are building. In fact, this one which you see in front of you right now is actually the demo that comes by default with Unity 3D, the Angry Bots. Now by the time of recording, this is Unity 4 has been released. So if you go to unity3d.com, Unity 4 has been released. I'm actually using the 3.5.4, and when I run the Unity for the first time, I get the Angry Bots demo. Probably on your other on the other end, on your side, probably it's gonna be a different thing. Could be you could have a different demo on your hands here. So Unity 4, you can actually download it for free. If you go to unity3d.com and you go to Unity on that link, and oh sorry, you can actually go to store, and here you select the free version, and it's enough. The free version is quite enough and sufficient for you to follow with me on this lesson. And of course, if you would like to, you can like read more and see the license comparison. You get the Unity Pro versus Unity. And honestly, if you look at the price of Unity, it's really cheap, when you compare it to what it actually offers you. So $1,500 for what it actually offers is really amazing. And yeah, and it's really quite easy to use. That's the coolest thing about it. So if you go to Unity, once you download it, once you installed it, and you run Unity for the first time, you'll immediately get their demo. Now in my case, of course, again, I got the Angry Bots. Now if I just simply hit the play button over here, and as you can see here, I get a very interesting, rich environment with enemies. As you can see here, nice reflections, nice, nice rain and everything. And as well, you can see I get enemies that are being triggered once I approach them. And of course, when I approach some doors, they open. This whole level, or like very mini game demo, is done completely in Unity. The 3D models, however, you have to pay attention to that. The 3D models, however, they are actually made in external software packages. So the rest is in Unity, how to arrange these stuff, how to arrange these 3D models, how to how to arrange these 3D models, how to put the scripts correctly so they interact. So actually the environment interacts with you, and so on and so forth. So it's a really nice, interesting game engine that's really easy to use, and we're gonna see how to use it in a second over here. So let me just unpause this or unplay this. I will stop playing it right now, and as you can see here, I revert back to my initial position. Now let me go back a little bit, and let's talk about, first of all, the user interface. Okay, so excuse me. So if you look carefully, your user layout could be different than mine. If it is so, please go to layout and revert factory settings, and you will get the same layout which I'm having. So you're gonna get the inspector on the side, project, and hierarchy. If you have a different layout up to your liking, it's fine. But if you're missing one of these windows, you just simply go to window and start showing them if they are not there. Okay. Now I suppose that you already have read the document which I've already supplied it with this video. So please, if you haven't, in case if you haven't read this document, please go back again and read them, because it is highly important that you understand what's actually mentioned in there. Alright, or what's written in there. So yeah, first of all, in the hierarchy view, you get all the list of all your game objects actually, and your prefabs as well. Here on the project window, you get the list of all everything about your projects, scripts, prefabs, game object, well, not game objects technically, but yeah, it could be as well. A game object could be there, but yeah, well, okay, let's consider it to be your 3D models, and sounds, textures, materials, everything is actually saved in here, including your game objects are as well saved in a special database in your in Unity. All right, in your Unity project folder, and we're gonna see that in a second once we start creating a new project. In the inspector on the other side, you can see the details about the game object. So you can see the components that makes up the game object. So every game object, if I come over here and I go to game object and create empty, and there you go, I have an empty game object. Let me just pull it out as much as possible over here. So this basically, this thing is an empty game object, this thing, which when I select it, I get this little gizmo, which represent the transform, which represent actually the you can actually modify the transform node using this small gizmo. So basically, any game object, when it gets initiated, you get a transform node attached to it. Of course, you can, you cannot actually remove that component, because you have at least to have the transform component with the game object. All right. So excuse me. Since the game object doesn't exist, I have to get it from the hierarchy, and I'm gonna hit the delete key to delete it. Now, let me go further. So basically, yeah. So as you can see here, when I select my player has a position, so it has a transform node, has the certain collider, capsule collider. We're gonna see that later. Rigid body. This is actually used for collisions, and especially for like when somebody's shooting at your player, he has to register how did he actually get hit by a bullet, and so on and so forth, and a bunch of scripts that describes how he's actually gonna respond, how the health is handled, and how he's actually gonna move around your environment. All right. So basically, the inspector again shows the components of your gaming objects, or of your game object, excuse me. Now, if you look carefully on the major scene, how can I say, window or viewport, if you will, this scene window or viewport is the most important viewport in the whole thing, because this is where you interact with your virtual environment. This is where you actually create your own games. Now, if you look carefully, I get two tabs. I have the scene tab and I have the game tab. And the game tab makes the preview about the game. So if I hit play, I'm actually inside the game tab. Once I pause, I go to the scene view, I'm actually in my scene. Alright, now as you have seen me several times, I'm tumbling around, dolling in and out, and panning the camera. So let me give you these controls. So in order for you to control the scene, to navigate the scene, please hold down the Alt key. Me personally, I usually hold the left Alt, alright, with my thumb. You can use whatever you want. So hold the Alt key, and with the left mouse button click, once you hold your left mouse button, you can start tumbling the camera around. So as you can see here, I'm just simply rotating or tumbling the camera. Alright. With the while holding Alt as well and middle mouse button click, so middle mouse button click, you can start panning the camera around. And with the while holding Alt as well, if you hold the Alt key and right mouse button click, you start dollying in and out. Now sometimes you are focused on some place and you cannot dolly in anymore, and you would like, for example, to by the way, it is not zooming. Some people call it zoom, but it's not zoom. It's something else. It's dolly. Dolly just literally moves the camera. So if you are having problems with just moving around like this, you just simply need to just select an object, any object close to where you would like to go close to. Let's say I would like to have a closer look at this hologram display. I just hit the F key for focus or frame. So I'm right now framed on this small holographic display, and I can right now hold the Alt key and dolly in and focus and have a closer look at how this hologram display looks like. Okay, and as you can see here, here's the robot enemy which was shooting me a couple seconds ago. All right, now this is how to navigate the scene. If you would like to for example, to move an object, you just simply select an object and hit W, or you can select the move button from here, and you start moving your let me hit the F key to frame him up so I can actually be tumbling around him, so, or around it. So you can right now, while I do not hold anything, just hit the W key, and then you can get the moving gizmo and you can start moving your object. Hitting the R key will actually scale your object in and out. Hitting the E key, the letter E on your keyboard, the English E, and you can actually start rotating your object, so you can like position them in whatever way you like. So something like this, let's say. And I could actually just position it like so and leave it here, like so. And actually, this is the coolest thing about it. You just simply modify your environment to your liking. And let me just move this right there, let's say. Let me just always, by the way, move your game objects by your gizmos. It will be much easier to manipulate, and I can just simply like put it right there, you know. And when I hit the game play, so in order to test the game, as you can see here, here's my objects which I've laid down out as I actually wanted. So see, and they have colliders to them, so you cannot pass through them. Cool, huh? Now let me pause this and get back to my scene. So basically, these are the basic manipulations I believe this is the least ones which you really need to know. Okay. All right. So there are a couple configurations that I would like to share with you, and I always prefer to have them. When you install Unity for the first time, you are being asked if you would like to install Mono Develop or not. Right now it's up to you. If you have Visual Studio, I always like to use Visual Studio as my development environment instead of Mono Develop, so that's why I didn't install it. In case that you installed Mono Develop along with Unity and you would like to use Visual Studio, you can go to Edit, and unfortunately it's off the screen over here, but if you go to, after Edit, you go to Preferences, and let me see here, External Tools, and because I have Visual Studio 2012 installed here, the external script editor is detected as the actual exe of Devent, which is the div environment, which is the actual executable of Visual Studio 2012. I believe somehow because Unity hasn't, because probably Unity was released before. That 3.5.4 was actually released before Visual Studio 2012 came to being. So, so yeah, so it's actually it actually detects it as just simply you know, this regular exe file, which actually works with me. In case that you are in case that you are, for example, writing for Android, if you'd like to export to Android. And by the way, Unity can export to PC, Mac, Android, OS X, PlayStation 3, Xbox, Nintendo Wii, and Flash. And with Unity 4, you can export to Linux. You could actually, if you have Android SDK installed, you can point to the location of Android, and then you can export your games directly to your Android phone. All right. Now let me close this. Okay. Once you select your default development environment, once you double click on any script which you have like this, let me try to find any. Okay, here's the script, and most of them are JavaScripts. There are as well C#. I mean, I usually prefer C#, but usually people prefer JavaScript to write Ah, there you go. We have, for example, the reflection FX, which is C sharp. Anyway, it would have been opened, and here you go. And as you can see, I get C sharp scripts, and if we go here, these are the shaders. Well, where it was actually there were actually some scripts written in JavaScript somewhere here, but apparently I opened one side of the project which doesn't have it. But anyway, in Unity, the coolest thing about it is that you can write in JavaScript and in C Sharp at the same time. You can have two different script files written in two different programming languages, which is really, really cool. Now, of course, here you can see the C Sharp script written, for example, for check valid shaders and so on and so forth. So yeah, so immediately when I double click on the script, I immediately get Visual Studio up and running. Now, I will stop actually the video right here. So we already have seen what is the user interface, how to configure your Unity in order to run your preferred development environment, whether it's Visual Studio or MonoDevelop. And right now in the next lesson, I'm gonna start with a fresh new project, and we're gonna build it up together from then. Okay, so see you in the next lesson.